This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 6 Silk and Madness. Hello, this is Paul. I'm the DM. This is Tales of Swordfall, and who am I with tonight?
Hey, Paul. This is Camille, and I play Ray, the paladin.
And I'm Amanda, or DM Deistress, playing Tabby Tipsy Tail, the Hex Buckler.
And this is Sam, and I play Stu the Sorcerer.
This is Chris, and I play Flea the Lizard Folk.
This is Alex, and I play Krakatur, the Air Genasi Barbarian.
If you've been listening, or just keeping track of what the group has been doing, the main bulk of the group was in a really bad fight with some horrible pirates. May have exploded. No, they did. Everyone exploded on that ship. Everybody who was off the ship was no, Krakatur got really beaten up.
Yes, I did.
Yep. And the main bolt kind of went off afterwards and went to Taz's apartment. But we don't know what Stu has been up to the last probably about 12 hours. So let's discuss some of that. Where we left Stu was in a bathhouse, getting massaged, getting bathed, getting shampooed. And what distracted you enough to not notice that all your friends just kind of, or newfound friends, went off?
Well, so I noticed that quite a few of the employees, let's call them, of the bathhouse seem to be downtrodden, and they needed help. And so I offered to listen to one of them as they needed to blow off some steam and just let the weight of the world come off of their shoulders. And so I held a little counseling session with 3 or 4 of these workers as they were getting, as their shift was completing, and they were getting off of work, and they had treated me so well while they were on duty that I asked them about themselves, and I got to know them quite well, and I just felt really bad about some of them, about some of their situations, and I felt like they just needed to know they had somebody that was friendly and would support them and would stand up for them, and I gave them some advice, because I Stu, in any way, is, he's from a clan. He knows what it's like to be, part of a group of people who put a lot of pressure. And so I was having a private counseling session with all of the bathhouse workers that were getting off of their shift. I didn't even notice my people had left.
That's so sweet of you.
It's the best I can come up with on short notice.
That's glorious, though. I like that, deep down inside, Stu's, defies his natural tendency of being an evil kobold to be like a sweet, nice, just generally probably better than most humans.
I think Stu's worldview is, in his naivete, he really believes that humans need to be rescued from themselves, and so that's what his calling is becoming, I think. Yeah, yeah, because you see, one of his ideals, or one of his, what is it? What do you call that one? There's bonds and ideals and flaws, right? Uh,
Yeah.
my bond that I have with the world, with the population of people that I surround myself with, is that no one else should have to endure the hardships that I have been through myself. So when I saw these downtrodden bath workers, the bathhouse employees, I felt so bad. I ended up trying to help them for a good solid 12, 14 hours, something like that.
Cool. And give me just a general charisma check. I just want to see an outcome of something.
Okay. Let's do this. Honestly, the bad rolls make it more fun than good rolls a lot of
Yeah.
times. So I think with my roll, let me give you my interpretation of my roll. I think Stu did a really good job with about half of the people that he was trying to interact with, and those people really, really enjoyed the time they spent with him, and he probably earned their trust in some way, shape, or form, in some small, minute amount. But I think probably about half the people decided that he's a pompous little jerk, because he has that affectation of, you know, using really $20 words when a 5-cent word will do, and saying pardon me, and having this sort of, you know, almost look down your nose at him. But I think that despite the fact that he's a kobold, so he kind of starts off a little scruffy looking in the first place. I think some people just maybe feel bad for him, and overlook the sort of pompous coating, and they see the soft, warm heart inside.
Well, at least one of the workers decides that you are actually really charming and you are super cute.
Oh,
And they decide to take you home for the night because you probably explained that, oh yeah, I live like across the river or whatever. And they're like, no, you can't go through this district with your stature and, all that. So you end up going closer to the river in this like horrible little apartment. It's all she really has. The door, you have to like lift it up a little to close it,
Mhm.
and then it has like 5 locks on it. And it's basically one room. There's enough room for like a small bed, and there's like what works as essentially just a stove and a heater on one side. It's probably not very safe. It's probably a fire hazard, but this is back in Yale times where safety regulations wasn't really a big thing.
While I'm there, with her name, by the way, is Teresa. Just so you know,
Teresa or
Teresa, yeah,
okay,
Teresa with a T. Uh, I clean her entire apartment, and fluff up the pillows, and sort of straighten up the mattress, and keep everything as clean as possible, because we wouldn't want someone to get the wrong impression.
and when you're done, she just starts crying because no one has ever treated her so nicely. So you're like the first part of your night is like spent doing therapy sessions with all these bathhouse workers, and then the rest of the night is spending this time with this very emotional woman, and she's just really grateful, and she basically cries herself to sleep.
Okay. Um, when I realize that, I'll probably sleep for a couple hours as well, but when I wake up and I realize that it's really late and I don't know where everyone else is, I do my best to uh, not wake her up, and I write her a little note, but I'm not extremely I'm not extremely good at writing, so it probably looks like chicken scratch on a little piece of trash paper or something. In fact, it's probably not even on paper. She probably doesn't have paper or papyrus or vellum anywhere. But I just scratch out a message like on the wall near the door, um, that that says something like, "Always believe in yourself and never give up."
Wow. And you just kind of leave.
Yeah, and then I leave.
All right. Do you try to go back to your house, or do you like go out and do anything else?
Um, I think I'm gonna try to find clues about where everybody went because
Okay.
I think they're probably in trouble and I need to find them.
Oh yeah.
I'm starting to feel bad now because now I have spent a lot of time dealing with just a few people, and I kind of ignored the people who helped me. You know, like rescued me from the pirates that were attacking us, and then the gelatinous cube, and then where my house is basically probably overrun with those whatever's coming out of that tomb. So yeah, I feel like I abandoned these people who probably need my help.
Okay. Give me an investigation.
Okay, let me see if I open the character again, if it'll work. All right.
7.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, it's like when you step outside, it's pretty noisy, and you swear you hear just a horrible rumbling noise off in the distance, but it's kind of hard to tell what that actually is. But uh, you know that Taz lives somewhere in this district because she's like, "Hey, I live around here and I know this bathhouse," and that's essentially why you were there.
Okay.
So you know that you could probably, if you ask enough people, you might be able to find her.
Okay. I will ask around, but I don't want to call attention to myself or anyone else, so I will try to do that as surreptitiously as I can.
Okay.
So do you want like a stealth or something?
Um, Actually, I want you to give me a 1d4, just straight up 1d4 roll.
Okay. There you go.
So it takes you about an hour to basically find just someone who would talk to you, because you are a kobold after all, and
Yeah.
they're still kind of considered monsters in this city.
Mm-hmm.
But finally, someone takes pity on you and your lost look, um, to actually start just acknowledging that you exist and not throw anything at you.
Okay. I'm I'm very, very, very grateful that you are willing to speak to me about the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's okay. You're a nice guy, a little short, but you're a good buddy.
Well, thank you. You're a good buddy as well. And I I tried to wear shoes with big heels to make myself taller, but it never quite works, you see. I end
Yeah,
up falling over.
you could always try just thicker soles. That's what I do. And he takes off his shoe and he holds it in front of you, and you notice that they're basically like platform shoes. And he kind of gives you this like wobbly thumbs up.
I nod, and those are very, very wonderful shoes. Did you get them specially made?
Yeah, my dad's a cobbler. You know, cobblers, they actually don't make pastries. They make shoes.
Ah, I see. And they put the pastry in the shoe?
I Hmm. He just kind of thinks about it and starts like squishing the soul. And you might be able to tell that he. Well, actually, give me an insight. There's something only a little off. I mean, he smells kind of alcohol, but you can't quite pinpoint what exactly is wrong with this guy.
Okay. He's a human. Is that
Um, he's very short for a human.
okay? Okay.
He
But
he he might be a
humans.
kind of tall halfling.
I just think he's a small human, and
Yeah.
all humans, they need help. So he probably is just one of those that needs help.
Yep. God's Stu's just saving the neighborhood.
Maybe we'll see.
So, good buddy, you look a little lost.
Yes, I am lost. You see, I had a group of friends, and unfortunately, I was waylaid, and they went on without me, and I do not know where they are.
Yeah, friends do that sometimes, you know. You go to the bar, you meet them, you play cards, you lose all your money, then they all pick you up and throw you out.
Ah, I see. Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, I also lost all my money at the bathhouse. Yes, they charge for their services, you see, and they're worth a lot. So I have nothing, and I sort of turn out a couple of my pockets on my robes.
Yep. You know what we need? We need to find a good place to sober up, get money, and find your friends. Maybe find me friends. Now you're my friend. We're gonna stick together. And
All right. Yes.
he takes a hold of your shoulder and just kind of like wiggles you. And he stands up and just starts walking off in a direction.
Okay. I trail after him and I say, but excuse me. Perhaps you saw my friends. There are a how do you say? They are a motley crew. It's some very large blue man and one that looks kind of like a lizard, and a very furry one. And a couple of humans, I think. Have you seen that group?
What? No. Uh, do they
Too
have a?
bad.
Do they have like Do they chase after people who like stab other people?
Um, I'm not sure. I suppose they might. Is this something that you saw?
Yeah, there's like a tiefling and a Zebexi, and I think
Mm.
what are those weather people called? Nasties and
Mm.
what? There's a pretty looking lady and tiefling.
Yes. I recognize the Genasti one that you're talking about. Yes. Do you know where they went to?
Last time I saw them, they were chasing after someone, and the guards were chasing them.
Yes,
And
we should go that direction. Which direction was that?
hmm, it was, and he doesn't really finish the sentence, and he just starts walking off in a direction.
Okay. Does my awesome insight roll a few minutes ago um tell me whether I think he knows where he's really going, or do I think he's just lost interest?
At least you can tell he's as lost as you are.
Okay. Is there anyone else around that has been like witnessing this interaction?
Yeah, there's probably some women Or yeah, there's probably some sex workers around here because you are closer to the river.
Okay. I'm gonna approach one of them, and pardon me. That a gentleman over there, the short one there, walking away. He mentioned earlier that there was a kerfuffle and a cat person and a gymnasty and these other people were running and there was some sort of a knife fight or so. Did you did you happen to see that earlier? And I try to look as pathetic as possible.
One of them looks at you and just kind of gives you this like, oh look, and she's like, oh, you must mean the one guy who's stabbing all the dancers.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, there was a group of I think mercenaries who were chasing after him. Um, and oh man, you should have seen them. The tabaxi woman was climbing up walls. The gymnasty was he was. She gives just kind of this thirsty look as she thinks back to Krakatur, and she kind of loses her thought process for a moment, but snaps back to, yeah. Oh, and there is that one bard. Is it Tiz? No, Taz. That's who she is.
Yes, yes, the musical one. Very, very talented, isn't she?
Eh, I mean, she tells stories,
Hmm.
and
Oh, okay.
she just kind of like shrugs. Yeah,
So about the gymnasty, yes, that one. Do you know what direction they all went?
now the guards kind of made everyone go away after everyone went out on the rooftop. And if I could find
The rooftop? Which one?
oh follow me. It's easier to show you.
Oh,
But
thank you so much.
if you are looking for Taz, I know where she kind of lives at, like where her
Oh,
apartment is.
sure, if you would be willing to show me that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually in or not. They could have got arrested all by the guards, but
Oh,
but
Well, it'd be best if I checked, I think.
hey, at least you'll know where she lives and you can find her again.
Yes, yes, very good. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
And she picks up a cloak that's long and just kind of covers herself in it and starts walking off with you.
Is it well made? Is it does it have holes or anything in it?
It looks well made. It looks a little like utilitarian. Just it's
Mhm.
meant to, either keep you warm or not wet or
Okay.
it's
I
not
was
too fancy.
if it had any rips or anything, I was gonna, cast mending on it as we walked.
And Stew's too good for this game.
Maybe. I'm going for something here.
So you start walking through the streets. The sun is starting to rise little by little, and takes you probably a good half hour, 45 minutes to actually get to the group of apartments. It looks quaint. There's a lot of them. She just kind of points at the front door and she's like, maybe they have a list of who lives there. Depends on the landlord.
Okay. Uh Thank you so much. How can I ever repay you for this? This has been wonderful.
You were a nice guy. That's all I need.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, it's almost time for me to get back home. I hope you find Taz.
Thank you very much. I do as well. Have a wonderful day.
She just kind of nods in return, and she starts leaving as you approach the apartments.
Stay tuned for the next part of this episode.
Please consider listening to these podcasts.
A long, long time ago, in a land far away named Phylor, there were 4 legendary adventurers.
We are the Adventurers 4, renowned across the land.
Using their cunning and strength, the party defeats many monsters and saves many lives.
Nick takes a fairy blade and stabs it into his other eyeball.
Oh my gosh! Can you go jump on my back? Do I cast Expeditious Retreat?
Yeah.
Can Bob roll a d20 for me?
I don't like that. I don't like how you ask that.
D20 business.
What if I rolled a 1? What if I told you I just rolled a 1?
Come and join us weekly at How the Quest Was Won. Found anywhere where podcasts are located. Purchase not necessary. No real magic was used in the making of this podcast.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.